Okay, guys, we're back at it again. Gabby's Theory is the show, the podcast for your soul. You know,
That's what. Think.
I've got buzz. Yeah. So that's how it is, and it's still Olashubumi, Gabriel, Afolayan, and in the studio with me, as usual, I have Kemi,
Owadara.
beautiful woman. Always. She likes to whine me. So today it's a little bit different. Why? Because we're going into the educational sector. And I have a major principality, that we cannot do without. I mean, someone we can't do without. That's what it means. Meaning you are an authority, that's what it means. Stop thinking of bad stuff.
Principality and power.
That's it. That means we can't do without you in that sector. Meaning you'll be the one who is talking a whole lot more and sharing with us, that very sumptuous educational tips. And what are we talking about basically, Kemi? I think most courses in all universities should be good enough for everybody to partake. Most courses in the universities, not all of them are really obtainable in today's world. And I get it. We can't have a big school and not have activities. Meaning, if a school is a federal school, it's required to have a lot of courses and stuff and all that. Maybe back in the day, it was good enough for people to learn things from the classical point of view. But in today's world, I think we should do more of things that are obtainable to a time we're living. So what's your opinion on the fact that there's some courses that are just not in the labor market? And they are still rested in all these universities and people are still doing jam to feel and go for such courses. What's your take on that? Having so many of these things that are not viable in present day stuff.
Let me even start from the secondary school level.
Oh, yeah?
I wrote WAEC 3 times. Why? Because of mathematics.
Right.
I don't know. I don't like it. But I was forced to.
I don't like maths.
I don't like them. And what I had in my head was, the arts department, I don't really have to. I just have to know the basics. Eloni, owo, ibai, you understand? Let me just know the basics. Don't ask me to know the further mathematics.
Oh, yeah?
I don't need it. Because all these XY, I'm not even using it, like nothing like
that's not what you're doing at the moment.
Yes, that's not what I'm doing at the moment. So from there, I feel like the government, the educational board should have a way of coming together to help these younger ones focus on what they want to do.
Okay.
Somebody who is going to study English, let them just have pass, like not pass F9, E2. But at least let them have the basic this thing. Don't force some courses on them.
Right.
So back to university now.
Right.
I feel most students don't have choice. They go for what they give them. When I was looking for admission, I said this is what I want to study.
Right.
I didn't have admission the first time. And somebody told me, hey, you can study anything now. And I said, no, I'm not going to study what I don't need.
I know, right?
I know what I want.
Yes.
So if you know what you want, you won't go where you don't want.
Where you don't want, okay.
I know what I want.
I'm trying to trace the problem back to high school, like you said. Because most of the students that are coming out of high school, they just want to get into a tertiary school without actually discovering purpose before heading. Because most of us just want to leave home.
Exactly.
Because you don't want people to say, so nobody wants to do that.
Yeah.
Everybody just wants to leave. Some, it's due to parental pressure.
Yes.
Some siblings pressure. And some associate pressure in terms of, brothers coming in, some from school coming back home, giving gist about how school was fun, how they're in university now and life is different, and you in high school also want to have that taste of life. So rather than really, really align with purpose and discover what you would want to do, you jump on the bandwagon of, I just want to go to school,
Exactly.
without literally knowing exactly what you want to do. So most of all those university people, university students actually got into school trying to discover purpose. You can't at that point in time.
So at some point, some will start changing courses.
That's what I'm saying. So it's hard because when you really don't know exactly what you're going into a tertiary institution to do, you definitely go in there and wonder.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be participating in things that are not really, what you're supposed to, that are not obtainable. You'll be doing a lot of departmental partying, you'll be seeing girlfriends at girls' hostel.
Because
a whole lot.
you don't even know why you are there in the
Which
first
is what
place.
I'm saying. So I think it's very essential for any living student to discover purpose before they get into any higher institution. It would help them do things faster. And also, it's pretty much hard when you're in a tertiary institution and you don't even have a leeway to go and do an IT before you're out of school. Most departments don't do that.
They don't. My
They
department.
just keep them in school for 4 years, straight up teaching classics, teaching in fundamentals, teaching the theoretical
theory.
part of, and there's no major establishment with the reality of what they are studying in school. So it becomes problematic for them by the time they are done. Because when they start to apply for jobs, the jobs require to have some level of experience. So how can a fresh graduate apply for jobs like that? And most jobs that are available requires level of experience.
And all they teach in schools are practical theories.
It's even okay to learn theory. It's the application of that theory that is the major problem. Is a major problem.
There should be opportunity to do the practical.
Which is why I said it's rather very cool when students are in their second year or third, allow them to go and intern.
But there are some courses that there is no practical. You can't even have practical.
That's another thing. That's another thing. The university is filled up of several courses that are really not viable to this present day dispensation.
Yeah. And people will
There
ask
are
you,
plenty
why are you
of
there? You don't
courses
even know
like
why
that.
you're
You understand? Like
doing it.
plenty of courses like that. Me, I'm of the opinion if it is only 3 or 4 or 5 major courses that are viable to the present day happening, then let all that courses go, scrap them. I beg. It's sheer waste of time, and the labor market get crowded by the time they are out.
They don't even know
and
what
they
they want to
contribute
do.
to a part of the generation of graduates that will not get a job.
And they start complaining the government is not helping, the economy is bad.
You already know there's job limitation, and you're here studying a course that you can't even find any traces of it in the labor market. So that's why most of all these people that are learning all these advanced courses and stuff and all that, and they figure though it's not within this country, they just key into scholarship programs. So by the time they are done in school, maybe they get a scholarship to be out of the country to go and further study or probably do the practical of what they've already learned back home here. So that's for some, but not everybody has the opportunity to figure out how to get a scholarship. Or whenever a student is getting into any tertiary institution, there has to be a fundamental mindset of what they are going in there for. So once they are okay, I want to be this, okay, and this is the course. So even if you don't meet the cutoff, stay back.
Yeah.
Rewrite the jam. Because you already found purpose to say this is what I want to do.
Exactly.
Don't go and say, okay, because they can give me any other course now.
Yeah, I can
Or
do anything. Let me just go to school.
Let me just go to school.
I think that's what is affecting most.
It becomes problematic because at the end of the day, you ended up being an average student. You're really not going to be of your full potential. And people would think, looking at you, you look calm, cool, you should be very intelligent and smart. But at the end of the day, because you are doing what you are not meant to, you'll just be struggling. Just like back in high school when I was in SS1, most of my colleagues, when we're heading down from GSSC, all this GSSC thing, everybody wanted to go to science class. Science class was the bane. It was it was fashionable, even when you know within yourself that you are not capable of being in that class. You know?
Even a teacher told me that, Kemi, if you don't go to science class, I will not talk to you.
You know, it was our counselor. No, our counselor changed down for me.
I said, what do I want to go
No,
and do
she
there?
changed
Mathematics,
it,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Physics, I don't know.
Because the class was filled. Imagine science class, like
what am I going to do there?
150 students. What? You know, the woman came in the corridor, saw the whole class was filled up. Science class? How? Meanwhile, art class was just 7 students.
Wow.
And commercial was almost half filled as well. And our counselor at the time said, no, we had to do a mock test. A mock test is to do the fundamentals of what science class required, which is chemistry, physics, and further maths is not even the case at the time. Even maths on its own, because they know English is also required for all classes and all that. So they give us the test. More.
You can't feel.
A class of 150 predominantly reduced to like 45 straight up. Everybody, you have to leave that class. Me, I was even able to get through with physics. It was chemistry that got me hooked. And I think I was lacking like 2 marks off the mark limit. And the woman still said, no, you're getting out of this class. I cried. Why? Because back home, everybody already, they had a feel of the fact that I'm in science class. And based off of the fact that my elder brother, it's a bleak memory now, there's a style back in the days, the books that your elderly ones, had used will be passed down to you. So there was this very serious requirement to say, okay, I'm not buying no other textbooks for you. It is what your brother had already used that we're going to pass. So there's already that pressure of going to science class. Like, there's that pressure. And my counselor said, no, you have to be out of this class. I cried. Wow. I called my mom, because my mom also, at the time, because she's retired now, she was a teacher. So in a primary school, and I thought, okay, if she followed me down to school, she was going to talk to this, teacher to teacher type of thing. And no, the woman has to change down.
Wow.
She did not.
She's a good person.
She did not. I didn't know what she was doing. It was hurtful. It was because we've spent like a term in the class. So we've already, when the floss is there, you're already gained up, you're dressing some type of way that looks different from the art and commercial. And the kind of things we're stepping up to was different. And some of us already had flair for entertainment. Even in science class, we already had this music group, we've been trying to do stuff. And my counselor said no. So I was part of those that was kicked out of science class.
Wow.
As I carry my desk and chair like this, and I cry.
Shame go catch you.
I was just going, I was heading out, and I just saw the art class. It was less than 10.
They feel like it's for Olodo.
So the orientation also is part of the problem.
Yes.
Seeing a certain discipline as the prime, seeing a certain discipline as the most important, I'd already given that poison. It has already poisoned the mind about what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because some people will thrive so well in art class, but because there's a stigma to the fact that arts are meant for dullards, for people that are average in their mindset, forgetting the fact that Professor Wole Soyinka, the Nobel laureate, was art connoisseur, like proper art person, from onset. So it's a bit discouraging when even the society had already cast an aspersion about what a certain profession looks like from the other. So it has derailed a lot of people.
Yeah.
It has derailed a lot of young minds and stuff and all that. Brand tagging a certain class. So we already felt we wanted to be in science class because that's the most intelligent, setting for anybody, you know, that wants to do better in life.
Yeah.
So, student that doesn't have the capacity and the mindset to pull through such class, even if you are able to pass the mock test, you are going to be an average student.
Of course.
There's no two ways about it.
Of course.
There's no two ways about it. Because
Even
you're
if they are
going to
brilliant,
manage, and you will manage all
yeah,
through.
it's not what they want to do. It's
you
just
understand?
because of peer pressure, what the
and societal
yeah.
expansion. So I went into art class. I didn't even use up to a term. I just realized the kind of power that I had.
You felt like this is where I want
It
to
was
be.
like a second nature. And it was a choice from me taking my desk and just moving and looking over to see, okay, this class seems like it's empty, and there's really no, because already commercial class is already jam-packed already. So I just moved in there. And in less than a term, my academics started, you know, coming better. I was more interested in the teaching, because what they were teaching, the government, the literature, was just like second nature and things. And you know what's funny? It was during my set that the senior boy, head prefect, was chosen from art class. That was the first time ever. It never happened before.
Yes,
Though I was a
they feel
timekeeper.
like, they feel like
yes, I was a
art
timekeeper on my
students.
set. So we actually proved a whole lot of people wrong by being in art class. They could not even pick a head boy from a science class because they are not even well spoken. Do you understand? So this is the trajectory of how people get to derail and fail in life when they don't pay attention to their strength, nagging and tagging themselves to the societal norms, now putting themselves under unnecessary pressure.
That's it.
You know, so because now you struggle through your science class in high school, and you also want to go into a unit to do an engineering course that you're already an average person. Well, because our engineering is big and all the rest, because you're not a science student, you know, you now go there and start, you know, misbehaving. So I think those are the fundamental problems. We need serious counseling
Serious counseling.
from the stage of high school. Because high school is where you have to find purpose. If you can't find purpose in high school, then you can't get it anywhere.
Yeah, the society at large needs
Do you
to
understand?
be
So there needs to be a
educated.
revamped ideology about what educational standards should be. Art is a very viable.
I said a teacher called me and she said, "Kilo fellow class.
Yeah.
Oh, you know the caliber of students that I said, I've always known what I wanted.
Right,
I said,
right.
I want to be in art class. She said, no, you can't stay. She told me,
I
oh, they
understand.
lost art class. I said, the thing with the
I
done
get
here.
it. So that will now inform their decision making on the long run, and by the time they are now out of school, they also want to go into higher institution to further the failings.
That's it.
You know?
And
So
even in life, when they leave.
yes, it becomes problematic for them. So I'm always of that opinion that for the educational system to be much more stronger, people need guidance and counseling, a proper one from
Proper
high school
one.
level.
Proper one.
You know, and from a stage that they cross over to the senior secondary class, which is the SS classes. People need to be sat down, properly fed with options of purpose. And let's see, because even some of the students, you would have seen them, they would have been gravitating towards what they really want to
Yeah.
do. Because I know a lot of medical students that I know that are very wonderful writers. Novel writers, play text, and they are, by profession, they are medical doctors. And you would have thought, if this guy just took a bold step on himself to just go to art class and really propagate himself in writing, he would have been one of the best authors ever. Trust me. He writes so well. And I'm like, hey, and look at this, you're wasting this away. Because you've taken time to now say by force, by fire, I must pull through this medical stuff. And you will know yourself when you are brilliant in a certain field and when you're not. There's some certain doctors that get people killed now based on unprofessionalism.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're certified. It's a struggle all through.
Yeah.
To get certification, it was a struggle. To do intern, it was a struggle. Now they are professional doctors or nurses in hospitals, and things are happening that they cannot put under control, that they can't wrap under their control. So it's a problem.
Because they're not passionate about
Which
it.
is what I'm saying. So half of the time, it is during the secondary school era that a purposeful life should be defined, because that will now tell you the kind of course you would want to go into the university to study. And when you're now there, you're never going to be an average person. And like I said, it is encouraging if all departments are also helping the students, getting them to intern while they're studying. Most times, it's not about exploitation. It's about establishing a strong connection with the field, which would also help them in writing their exams, because they can actually do a comparative analysis of what the real world requires and what the teachings and the academic, also require. So it would help a lot. Then there will be a redefinition of of a lot of things, because by the time you intern before you get out of school, and you were so nice, maybe you were so nice being an intern person, you would make friends, you would have associates already. So by the time you're now out of school, it's not so hard for you to integrate yourself back to the industry, because you've already made friends. Even your boss might be so in love with your internship era that will say, you know what, I'm keeping this spot for you to go back to school, finish up, and come
back.
Naturally, even as a fresh graduate, he has or she has, you have surpassed the normal interview that you're supposed to do right after, because they already know what you are capable of. So it helps a fresh graduate when he or she had already interned in a field of study. It won't be hard for you to get a job. It would never be hard. Even in the midst of not so plenty job, you will still get a job. Because you're not just coming out of school with theoretical ideas and stuff. So you're on the field of practice because you've been there before. You've seen how the practicalness of what you were studying, you already know what it feels like now. There's a level of confidence you would have when you're back, to the labor market with it. So it's going to be a different ballgame entirely. So like I said, they should look into all these excessive courses that people are not getting any affiliations with on the outside. To me, it's sheer waste of time. Even if you have first class in all those courses, it's predominantly sad that it will be tough for you to get a hookup in the industry, except like I said, if you're able to secure a scholarship before you're out of school. And students also should be smart. Don't just have friends within the school walls where you guys just eat from the same plate, do things, and not be smart enough to also check out other things you can do in terms of, seeking scholarship. Because back then, I used to have a friend in school. All of us would rendezvous, would do things, would eat, would do all this other stuff, but we never knew Tyre was actually seeking for scholarship more. You know how surprising it can be when you're out of school and you already know that this person is an Oma at Akpata today, and you just heard he got a visa, he wanted to go to wherever to go study further, and you're like, but they don't get money for their house now. How come? You wouldn't know. Why? Because all the years in school, he was trying to seek for sponsorship. Why you didn't see light in that direction, or you are totally unaware of it. And the minute your mates start traveling right after school, they've gapped you. Is a normal occurrence. The gapping has started, and there's nothing you want to do about it. If they don't relate anymore, if they don't call you anymore, if they don't talk to you anymore, it's not their fault. Life has just, given them a chance to move their life further by being smart enough while being an undergraduate. Or you were just eating, doing also, you were going to class, you also had a good grade.
School to,
yeah. So you don't have any other extra thing you're looking into to aid yourself, to help yourself by the time you're out of school, especially when you know the background or the home that you're coming from. So it's very essential for people, the young minds, to always secure a purpose before they go into a tertiary institution. It helps a lot. And the government also should also help. They should look into all the school curriculums and see the things that are really not needed anymore. People have learned a lot of classes and they've done a lot of stuff and all that, but it's about time people need to start doing things that will put food on their table, so that we don't have the next lawyer coming out and being a fashion designer when you ought to have done fashion stuff right from the beginning.
You're right.
Like right from the beginning. You won't have any problem if you had gone to fashion school after high school. It doesn't mean nothing. I said it to people. I like, now where mechanics sit down, you go drive your motor commute time now. You understand what I tell you? And these are people you went to school with in high school, and when you guys wanted to go to a tertiary institution, you were laughing at them, they won't look cautious, and you guys went back to school. If it was not tired, you know, but it's so tired, and the thing is, whatever it tells you is wrong with your car, that's what's wrong with your car. If you know about your car, then go and fix it now. So it becomes tough when people are not getting practical with themselves.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you should be a mechanic if that's not your direction. But I'm saying if you're in line and in tune with yourself and you know that it's mechanical engineering you want to do, then from high school you would have been so sound with your science studies. It would have, you know, revealed itself to you that that's exactly where
And you know,
the direction you want to go.
sometimes most of these roadside mechanics,
Yeah.
they are far better than those who go, because
That's
there is no
exactly right.
practical.
That's
It
what I'm
is just
saying.
theory.
They started their life doing practical.
Yes.
Because they know that's where the money is. Because you're not going to learn theory based off on someone else's car now.
You know, you're just reading books.
You know, books is even, you see, books is good. You know, you can read, you can study. But the practicalness of what you do is very essential.
Very, 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 very.
Because people give money to people who add value. If you add value, you'll never be broke at all. It's never happening. You might not get yourself to amount to a wealthy status, but
At all.
you know, never ever, because you offer a service, and whoever offers a service gets paid.
I started writing as a child.
Right.
And I've known I'll be a writer.
Right. It has already been a thing
Been
for you, and by
there.
the time you're doing it, you are also doing things in that line.
Yes. So I didn't say, okay, I'm a writer, let me go and do banking and finance.
No. You already know that thing. Because whatever you do that is a second nature is where your major money is going to come from. Because that's what you'll be doing at ease, at a beck and call, that you won't have to stress yourself, that you won't have to really think so hard to get things done. And I always like things like that because it looks like magic
Yes,
to
now.
people. When you get things done that way, it looks like magic to people because it's your purpose. So you've aligned your soul with it. So it's coming from a depth where you're just getting things
You are
done.
passionate about it and you now monetize
That's
it.
it. So that's the way the government can help, and that's the way the parents also can help. You know, no peer pressure. We might be friends, and I might feel like I want to do something that is below what your purpose is. It doesn't mean nothing. I'm still going to serve purpose for the level that I've chosen, and it's always like that. Because if you're saying somebody is poor, that is poor, you can have money, and your plumber can use your eyes to see shaggy. And this is somebody that is not even as educated as yourself, but because he has a practical sense of what you need to get done, it becomes problematic because they can easily scam you. Because whatever you know that is your purpose is where you can hide your magic of money making. And that's what they do all the time. Mechanics, they're a big mess in that area, you know. You can't say you're so smart and you're facing a mechanic that you think is $1. You go pay more. And it's so terrible that your car can actually still come back and still not be properly done.
Yeah.
So that you can come the following week as well. So the magic is in being ascertain about your calling and the level of approach you're giving it. You already know what you want to become. How much of work are you putting into, to become that person? You can be friends and going through the same school phase, and at the end of the day, you're lost and I'm on my A game. Not like Asabi will pass you, but I'm just in line with my purpose. So the little things I get to do becomes very obvious to people why you keep struggling in a space where you don't belong. We don't have much time on earth. So how are we going to start wasting our own time? Based upon the fact that you know exactly what you're supposed to get done, but
But you are not
because
doing it.
of societal pressure, and peer pressure and parental pressure, you now go and do things that are not your calling.
Yeah.
That's why when you get to see a home where there's a black sheep, everybody's doing this, and you see that black sheep end up being the most successful. And sometimes they also can be the most unsuccessful. Based on
No, it depends on what they are doing.
It depends on, it depends on what they are doing. But sometimes people that go against the rules, they always get to break them and make something out of it because they are already seeing what no other person, has seen. And I think that's a beautiful life when you're on a journey that nobody sees. It gives you the courage to say, you know what, not only me to see this thing, and I'm actually going to size up and make it work, especially if you had to prove to people that there's a light in this direction. So it's helpful in that manner. So the educational system should come from that, that perspective as well, where there's huge sensitization on purpose and on purposeful life. And it's not by force, it's always by choice. You can have friends that would like to do science-based stuff and you don't belong there. Accept that fate. That's the first thing you need to do. Accept your limitation in anything you're trying to do. Know where your strength reach. Because the minute you activate the fact that, oh, okay, this is, then you now know what to do. Because you already know what not to do. So it helps a lot, And I think with that, we'll have a much better society in terms of people and how they behave. Because sometimes when you're not making it in life, even when you're trying to figure, okay, where did I get it wrong? What did I do? Like, but why put it you just focused on what matters.
What matters.
You figure that your journey will be faster to fame or to fortune. Why? Because you already seen the map that you want to tow. I'll give an instance. I used to have a friend in school, in high school. His name is Funsho Ashaolu. If you're watching me wherever you are right now, you know you're the one I'm talking about. Funsho used to play a lot in school. But people don't know that school time for Funsho is at home. So school is like a playground. So when you see him in school, you think, well, Gabby, now all of us, they play now. You don't mean anything. If Funsho said and that's the most brilliant student in the class.
Yeah.
And he plays a lot in school. Because his dad is a lecturer, at the Polytechnic Ibadan back in the days. And so home is school for Funsho. So Funsho does not play at all at home. Nobody knew that. And we grew up in a neighborhood. If you go to school like this, you come back. As you drop the book, until tomorrow, nothing. Either you go play soccer or you chase girls up and down. So it's a middle class neighborhood filled with civil servants, average, but everybody knows everybody, but there's too much activity to participate. Like I am right now. I know how to do sway. I know how to do tinko. Where I get time to do all those things. It's because of this, the neighborhood influences and all that. But when Funsho gets back home, it's like a cocoon, like a cage. Because having a dad that is a strict lecturer at already, a tertiary institution, gives the information that you're not coming home to play. Once you're back home, you do your home domestic work to study. So the breather that he also he normally would have is in school. So school is the only time he has. The school time is the only time he has to, So Funsho is the most playful. And every other person said, go follow, But when results they come out, now this guy, they're on top of everybody. So it was too late before they figured that that's Funsho's routine. That's what I'm saying. A boy raised in a home where purpose was the main thing for them. They don't joke with academics and and things like that. So he had already figured what he wanted to do, and he has walked that path. You know, school time is how many from 8 to 2 bar? Is that not 6 or how many? Yes, you know. But compared to from 2, 3, round the clock. So he was studious enough to know that he will do a lot of work at home and he will have a breather in school. So a whole lot of people that follow that pattern, they failed woefully. Science student failed anyhow. Like,
They didn't know what they want.
failed. You don't understand. And be like, and for sure got his result one time. He passed his SSC once. And everybody later figured that it was the other way for him. So that's the thing. A purposeful life from onset would always make everything look like magic to other people that are not prepared. He knew it was a strong science to the core, and he was walking that path. It was while every other person we were chasing Hip Hop World magazine. We were doing lit, we were doing shows, we were wearing bikers, Sanchos, we were wearing Tommy Hilfiger, Timberland, we were doing Calvin Klein, we were doing Nautica, we were doing Fields. That time we call them Fila. We were doing Adidas, we were doing Nike. We know we were fashion conscious. We just wanted to be out there to see, you know, we go to Leeds, we go to girls only school, you know, closing hour and all those things. So we were bound by activities, my dear sister. It was so much that there was no space for book to enter this brain.
You were so busy doing nothing.
You get. So if a whole lot of us back then had woken up to a purposeful life, people would still have fun, but it would be limited and sizable. It would be limited and sizable. So it was after school that people now started using their brain. When they don't knock, when the engine don't knock first, they can't start today. So some people got their result at a second sitting. Some even tried it for the next 7 years. They were unable to, because the time they had to do it, it was wasted on something else. And some people are smart enough to know that, okay, you know what? I'm already scared of jam. How do we go about it? So sometimes you have to also be smart enough to know your strength, to know what you want to do. So some people would go for diploma, and then from there, you know, they do maybe 2 years diploma, then they can now cross over to the main degree, thereby skipping jam, basically losing 1 year. So instead of going for a 4-year thing, you use like 5 years to run the whole course. So, you know, it's still coupled with the fact that most of all these people, like I said, when they were out of high school, there was really nothing because they couldn't fix themselves up. So they started, I just want to come more house. You go for CESA, you go for pre-degree. And pre-degree would have like a 1,000 students in class. And inside of it, there will still be cultist activity. Issues day, my dear sister. Big issues. So all of these things, they are plenty enough to mess things up for one's life. It would always bring about a bad trajectory. Because there's no way you roam the way I've spoken about and you end up being something really good. You'll be lacking in something.
Exactly.
Even if you manage to put through, you will always lack. You know? And I always give that instance. A vulcanizer can be okay with what he's doing with himself. But the minute he feels he needs to get married and start to have a family and have a much broader space, then he will know that what he is doing may not be enough for him anymore. You know? So if we always think ahead like that, I think we'll be able to guide our children, and we'll be able to put them right in a certain way where we help them discover their strength. Because that's where it starts from, people's strength. And you can't know your strength without knowing your limitation first of all. Which takes me back to the reference of you being young and you're chasing a PhD. Isn't that amazing? You grew up learning and knowing that you just want to write. So it has taken you on a discourse of that, and you're actually now going in that line. Or do you feel any different?
No, I know what I wanted.
Right.
When people were saying, why are you studying this? Why are you doing this? I tell them I want to do it. No matter what they say, I don't let that take me back. I want to do this. Right. I know what I want. Right. And I'm pursuing what I want.
Right.
So if there is any difficulty, any obstacle,
Yes,
I
you
know
man
how
up.
to navigate
Yes,
it because
you man
this
up
is
and
what
do
I
what you
want.
have to do, yeah.
It's not because somebody wants me to do this. It's
Right.
not because somebody is forcing it on me.
Right.
So you can hardly see me complain that, oh, academics is bad, because it is what I want to do. It is what I love.
From their perspective, it might be. But from your perspective, that's the most cherished path to tool for you, which is what I'm saying.
For my first degree, I studied English and they're like, English ilé gan, English ní ìgbóyìnbó ìgan, but mo fẹ́ study nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ ṣe nìyẹn.
English dẹ̀ lè lóòótọ́.
Olè.
Ká má parọ́.
Olè.
Má parọ́. Laws ti pọ̀ jù.
Olè.
I spoke, I spark.
Only syntax.
Morphology and syntax.
I want to do it.
Yes.
At the point, some people dropped out. Right. Some people changed their courses, but I did not because mo fẹ́ study and mo fẹ́ ṣe.
That's it. So you had the time to, which is the thing that I'm saying, because mo tó bá ló fẹ́ ṣe tó life wàráyè.
Ó máa rọrùn fún yàn. Even when it is difficult, you do it.
You know, of course.
You will do it. So I feel like the society should sensitize, or maybe the government should.
I think it's not much of a governmental issue. I think it's a lot of parental issue.
Well,
because while running around to get money, you understand, less attention is paid on a child's purpose.
Yeah.
Not like they want it intentionally to be like that. It's just life. So conscious effort to always have a reminder that because even motion ṣe pakan lekiti mo wo láti fi tọ́mọ mo láti tún mojú tó life ọmọ ṣọgbẹ yàtọ̀ wà.
Yeah.
Yàtọ̀ wà ńbẹ̀ ìpèsè fọ́mọ wà ìmójútó ó tún wà. So some of people can lack in that, but the thing is, the minute you figure that out, then call yourself back to order, because tó no matter to share segbe láti leve.
So my kid sister offer process admission. I told her me for sale,
okay,
but these are options. Tó bá ṣe àwọn courses o kò síṣẹ́ tó fẹ́ fi ṣe.
Right.
This is Nigeria. Kò sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ fi ṣe.
Right.
But these are options. She said, I only me sọ pé kó lọ ṣe dandan. But I gave her reasons why she should do it. Now she's enjoying it.
You see?
She's in school and she's like,
because you just need to force, not forcefully. You just have to make them see light in that direction. Not like you're actually forcing them. You're just influencing their decision by telling them that bó ṣe ṣàlàyé fún yẹn ló make sense.
You've tread the path. You know, iṣẹ́ tó bá ṣe course yìí tán ní school, kò sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ fi ṣe in the society. I don't want to mention courses, but there are some courses that I saw people studying when I was in school, and I'll be like, "Taba jáde kí ló fẹ́ lọ fi ṣe."
Right.
Why to máa sáré kiri?
Which is to take me back to the point that some that are wise enough will seek scholarship with it,
and they
leave the shore because they know it's not viable here.
Yeah.
Maybe it's viable somewhere else, which what. But mostly the society doesn't have a lot of what the university have to offer.
Yes.
So by the time we're able to see that, then we'll know exactly what we're doing. Then it's sure not being crafty. You can't rule that out.
I say it often.
I appreciate a lot of people with craft.
Go to school, but have something you are doing with your hands.
You must have something.
So that you will not leave school and be like, Ishe wa. It's because all your focus is academics,
Yes.
It's
because there's a stereotype of job limitation. Lawyer new, doctor new, engineer ni ko ju mẹ́ta yẹn lọ.
Only.
In this society based already.
No, bank wala bank.
Bank is like the sort of big three. Which if mu yẹn wọlé lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan as big four. Until people started to see what bankers are achieving. That's when they now get okay, accountant, yes, that's the word. They put it like there. Accountant low money. They don't have 150K.
So it's because of the way the society has made it look like tó bá ti lọ sí school nìkan, ìkan báyìí ló lè study. No.
So it would also help for a better matured mentality. By the time people see that ibi tó náà wà lọ́nà wà.
It is not law school. Don't law school. I tell people, don't law school. Don't law school. If you are going to school, no, this is what I want to do. This is the value to the society. Don't just go to school. Don't just go to school.
It has to be something that will cushion what you really want in life.
That's when you will not complain that Kosishe, Abi, the economy
Because
is
in
bad.
Okoto Sheton, you would have been able to
Yeah,
discover
to know what
and
I can
you would
do
know where
this.
you know
You
where
know
you're
where
headed
going.
now.
That's it. That's
It's
it. I
simple.
see
It's
it
very
often.
simple. Smart choices for smart people, trust me, it doesn't take time at all.
At all.
At all. At all. At all. So people, yes, so I'll let Kemi sign us out on this one. Huh?
Okay, so it's been a wonderful time with my Oga
Ode, AK.
on Gabby's theory.
Yeah, right.
Like, this is the theory of education. Don't just go to school. Know
Right.
what you want
Right.
before going to school.
Yeah.
With that, you will not do anything anyhow.
It makes
and you
things
will not be
simpler.
frustrated. You will not be
Makes things
frustrated.
simpler. Yes.
Thank you so much for watching us. See you again next
Catch
time.
you guys next time. On next episode, as usual, hold up. Peace.